Milk was a bad choice. I was having a chat with Michael the other day. Hello, close personal showbiz friend of mine, Michael Stevens from Vsauce. How are you? It was a video call, and as often happens, we got onto the subject of the Assassin's Teapot. And at one point, Michael said, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a water bottle that worked in the same way? And the more we talked about it, the more we realized this is just something that has to exist. Like, the Assassin's Teapot is such a cool demonstration of fluid dynamics, but if you ever wanted to show it to your friends when you're out and about, the teapot is just a terrible form factor. It's gonna spill all over your bag or whatever. Or when you're out for a run and you want to keep your water and electrolytes separate, the teapot's just a nightmare. And teapots just aren't big enough to get you through dinner. More red?
Yeah. Can I just get the bottle?
No, I'll refill it. So this is the exciting part. This is the big announcement, right? For the first time, I can present to you, available for pre-order, the Assassin's Water Bottle by Steve Mould and Michael Stevens. Link in the description to place your pre-order today. How cool is that? This is a 3D printed prototype. The final product will be made of premium durable materials, like the bottle will be crystal clear, it'll have a design on it, and you just know that that design is going to be jam-packed full of Easter eggs. But maybe you're wondering, like, how does this thing pour two different liquids?
Well, I assumed it was just the same mechanism as the teapot.
Well, it's actually the same mechanism as the teapot. So in the Assassin's Teapot, you've got these two chambers, and they both lead up to the end of the spout. And each chamber has an additional hole for air to get in so that liquid can flow out. But if you cover one of those holes, it stops that chamber from being able to empty because of surface tension and atmospheric pressure. I won't go into the details of that because that's in the original video, link in the description. And so we've got the same thing going on here. You've got these two chambers and they both lead up to the spout. You can see that on the underside of the cap. There's actually a set of small holes there, 4 holes for each chamber. Then you've got these 2 holes here, which are equivalent to these 2 holes on the Assassin's Teapot. And just like the Assassin's Teapot, you choose which drink you want by putting your finger over the appropriate hole so that only the other liquid can get out. Or if you leave both holes uncovered, you get the 2 liquids mixed together. So you can even have a rosé.
You know rosé isn't just red and white mixed together.
So what'll it be?
I'm okay.
The Knoll drink. Here we go. Pre-orders are open for the next 2 weeks and it's a limited run. So once we've got the numbers, that's how many we'll make. To get yours, check out the link in the description.
Who are you talking to?
The cool thing about the Assassin's water bottle is you've got this transparent vessel, but then you also get this opaque sleeve with it, like a cozy that covers up the transparent part like that. This will have designs on it as well, again full of mathematical Easter eggs and stuff like that. But it means you can demonstrate the effect and then also reveal how it's done by removing the sleeve. Whereas with the Assassin's Teapot, I had to make a separate transparent version. At this point, the water bottle suffers from the same problem as the teapot. It's no good in transit. So we need some way to cover these holes when it's not in use. In this prototype, you've got one piece of rubber that makes up the strap that holds the lid, but also has the stoppers for these 2 holes for when you're not using it. A nice benefit of this design as well is I can stopper just one of the holes and then I'm going to get just one side all the time. So for the practical uses as well, this is really handy. Like if I'm carrying orange juice and water, I can switch between the 2 without having to always use my thumb. There are actually some really surprising engineering challenges when you go from a water bottle that has 1 compartment to one that has 2 compartments. And during the design process, we realized that the Assassin's Teapot is just one example of a class of magic tricks, usually referred to in general as the inexhaustible bottle. So there are all these other designs to draw inspiration from. The earliest known example being one from a 1635 publication where the vessel in question was shaped like a barrel. But if you wanted to buy one of these magic tricks today, you might end up paying over $100. But by doing this limited run using large-scale manufacturing techniques, we've been able to get the price down to something closer to what you might pay for a luxury water bottle, which I'm really happy about. Check out the link in the description for the different price options and estimated shipping dates. So the biggest challenge we faced was making the thing watertight and airtight. Like if you think about how you screw the lid onto a traditional water bottle, see, essentially this surface is pressed against this surface in here as the lid is screwed down. But look, we need to get a good seal across the partitioning wall as well. So we need something like silicone to press down on there. Here's the issue though, if we're screwing the lid on, that silicone is going to be scraping against the partition. I had the idea of a design a bit like a mason jar where the lid flips down and then you have a little latch that holds it in place. But the design team that we've been working with, they're brilliant at figuring out how a particular design idea might turn into a manufacturing challenge. They realized that this flip lid thing was going to cause problems with the other aspects of the design, but brilliantly there is another type of mason jar. I don't know if you've ever seen this type, but it's basically the lid of a jar, except it's in two parts. You have the disc that goes down onto the jar, and then the screw part is like a separate ring. So look, I can make a seal without the disc rotating. So that's what we've got here. The gasket lines up with the inner chambers and the ring holds it down. There are a couple of different options to choose from in terms of the design that gets printed on the bottle. My favorite is this one. It features markings for different volumes of liquid, and next to those markings are molecules, and on the other side there's different amounts of steves, like 1 kilosteve or 1 megasteve, for example. Perhaps you can work out what that means, but it's meant to be a bit of a secret because it's the Assassin's water bottle, but it's all explained in the booklet. Maybe I'll make a short about it at some point, but we also had some fun with the cozy designs as well. My favorite cozy is probably this one. If you've ever played the classic arcade game Asteroids, you'll know that if you fly the ship off the left-hand side of the screen, it will come back on the right-hand side of the screen. So look, it's as if these two edges of the universe are joined together, so why don't we curve this thing around and actually join them together? Look, it forms a cylinder. In other words, the asteroid's universe is topologically equivalent to a cylinder. So it's the perfect thing to print on a cylindrical object like the cozy of a water bottle.
Hold on. If you fly off the bottom in asteroids, you actually come in from the top. So technically the asteroid's universe is toroidal.
That's true, but where would I put the spout on a donut-shaped water bottle? There are 3 other cozy designs available, all with mathematical backstories, and there are engineering posters with Easter eggs about chirality and stuff. If you get the Steve poster and the Michael poster, they combine into one larger poster, and you can get them signed. There's a lot going on, basically, so click the link in the description to find out more and pre-order your limited edition Steve Mould Vsauce crossover Assassin's water bottle. Just don't poison anyone with it, okay?
So the asteroid's universe is technically toroidal.
That was great. Slight little
Right.
yeah.
Let's do that again.